ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is episode 2. We're going to be working on your stance today. But before we get started with the stance and getting in our having me put on my gloves and stuff and showing you where to put your gloves and how to stand, got one thing to talk about how to hold your stick. When I see a bunch of young kids and a lot of adults, they come in and they hold their stick like this. Just basic, like I want to punch you in the face with the block grip. That's incredibly wrong. Because if you can watch it, I hit the bottom of the stick and my whole wrist will move. Same thing happens when it's down here, it'll turn in. The correct way to hold a stick is like this. You put one finger down so that it blocks the stick from moving in all sorts of directions when the stick gets hit. So now you gotta hit it with the same amount of pressure, not as much. The harder you hold it, none, right? So that's the first thing. So now we're gonna put on our gloves and we're gonna talk about the proper stance. So, got my blocker, you're gonna see, I'm gonna hold it. And I have my finger there. I don't know if you can really see it, because I got so much padding from this blocker. It's got a lot of back padding. But we're gonna talk about how to stand. So, first things first, get on the ice. Well, even before you get on the ice, I want you to work on this. The basic stance, like puck's out at the point, nothing important. Like you're just there, you're just ready. You're gonna want to have your gloves a little out in front of you so you can see them. Because if you can't see it, if your gloves back here, you try and catch a puck, you're gonna have to turn your whole body and turn your head. What you want to do is you want to have it out front so you can watch the glove go right in, watch the puck go right in the glove. That's the most important thing. Same with the blocker. Right? You can see it come, see it hit. And if it's back here and it hits the padding right here and goes down, gonna hit the top of your pad. You're not gonna want that because the top of your pad isn't really part of like hard padding. It's gonna bounce any which way. If it's out here, hits the bottom, it's gonna land in front of your pad. You can bring your glove. You can bring the puck in and cover it with your glove. So now you get the puck. So you want your gloves out front. You want a little angle down. And you don't want it too high, you don't want it too low. The main thing you want to do when you're in your stance is block up the whole amount of net, as much as you can. Because if you block the same thing you're already blocking, like I see a lot of kids, they have their sticks really close, you know, and then, look at this, I'm already covering my leg, covering my own leg. What's that going to cover on the net? Nothing. So you want to bring it out a little bit, and you want your stick probably about a foot and a half, maybe 2 feet out in front of you. And the main thing you want to do is when you're standing, have your feet more than shoulder width apart. Not much, but a little bit. But you want to bend your knees. You know, it could be on a little bit of balls of your feet, front end of the skate, stick out, you know. Sticks out good, gloves out in front. You know, bend, you know, stick your butt out a little bit, keep your back kind of straight, and hover. You want your shoulders pretty much right over the balls of your feet. What this will do is bring your target up bigger. Because let's say you stick your butt out and you go really forward and you're over the front of your feet. You're way too low. And then when you go down, it's going to take you longer to bring your body up into a strict position when you go into butterfly, which we'll talk in the next episode about. So, you want to do, and same with if you're way too far back, right? Now you go down, you gotta lean forward, you're not gonna have any balance. Goaltending is all about balance. You wanna be able to move, you wanna be able to react, you want the puck, you wanna play the puck, not let the puck play you. One in that baseball with the ball playing you and all that. But as you can see, this is the stance you wanna be in. You can see the gloves are out front of me. I can move it, I can still see it, move it up, down, all the way around. You don't want it too high, you don't want it too low. You want it just right, I say right about nipple height for your glove, for the catcher. You want it right about nipple height, on the balls of your feet. It's not taking up any double coverage. And when the puck's out in front of you, you're covering the net, covering the top end of the net. So, the puck comes in a little bit closer, you're going to start moving down a little bit. Because it's kind of hard to go sky high on a puck. It's going to go off the top of your glove, so you bring it down a little bit when they get closer, but then you also spread it. We're not going to get to that yet. So, you have your gloves right, because if you have your glove here, it's called blocker lock. You don't want that. And it loses position. So we're going to talk about the blocker now. Blocker should be still out front. You're going to have your stick angled a little bit so that it lays flat on the ground, on the ice, or ground, depending on if you play roller. You know, your feet straight, knees bent, balls of your feet, butt out, shoulders over your balls of your feet, stick out. I got no double coverage now. If you do, maybe you have to move it over, center the stick in front of your body. And the key to have this here is when you go down, it covers any chance of a 5-hole. And also, you gotta have the ability to have an active stick, be able to move the stick around. So, we're gonna talk a little bit about this. I'm gonna move the camera down so you can see my feet. Oop, that's a little bit too far down, sorry. All right, let's see, you can see my feet perfectly. So we got the glove in the right position, got the feet, we're on the balls of our feet, a little bit wider than our shoulders, knees bent in a little bit. You don't want to be like this, like you're about to sit into the crapper. Just a little bit like that. You're gonna have your stick out in front. You can see I'm not blocking any part of this leg. Same with the glove. Gloves out, butt out, shoulders above the balls of your feet. That's a perfect stance right there. I see a lot of goalies, you know, I'm gonna start like this, gloves on the show on the top and try and get my gloves up. No, you're not gonna have enough time. But in my training, and what I teach kids is, it doesn't matter if your glove is this way or if it's this way. If you have the palm up or the palm sideways, whatever's more comfortable. You just don't want the glove down here, because if you're gonna go all the way up, you're gonna have to move your palm. You're gonna either have to go with your shoulder movement, which restricts your way to get out here, or you have to take time to turn it and then up. So if you have it sideways, if you're going up, you just pull it up. You still got the sideways movement, down, up, up. If you have it up, you just go like this. Move it out, move down, move down. You're gonna have to move it a little bit, but not as much as if you're down and then up. If you're up, you can just go down, you can drop down, and it works for the butterfly. If it's already down like this, when you go into your butterfly, you're gonna have to turn it back this way. When you're up, it's up and out front. When you go down, you just turn it to the side, and it'll create a seal. Blocker, you want it out in front. You want to have that grip I taught you about earlier. So, that's pretty much your basic stance. Most important things are keep your gloves out in front, balls of your feet. You don't want to be too far out in front of your feet. You want just a little pressure on the balls of your feet. You want your shoulders about, your butt out, your shoulders over the balls of your feet, and then your gloves out. And your stick on the ice, and the gloves out. That is the perfect goalie position for the basics. Later on, we're going to talk about the more advanced one. The one when the puck is in close, when stuff is really about to go down, and when you have to cheat a little bit. All right. Stance. This one's going to be a lot lower. This one you won't be able to stand along in because you don't need to. This one's when puck's in close, puck's close to your body, or there's a lot of traffic in front of you. Working with traffic is one of the most important things in goaltending in a game. You're never going to be alone in front. You're never going to get that perfect view of the puck every time. So, what you got to do, remember how we had the first stance where the glove, your feet were just a little outside your shoulders. You're going to move a little bit farther out. You're going to go lower. You're going to still keep your gloves and stuff out front. You're just going to have your feet wider and closer to the butterfly and a little bit more on the balls of your feet. What this is going to do, it's going to be able to get you in the butterfly quicker. Also, because the shot is going to be coming any second. And if you don't get down the butterfly a lot, you'll get beat 5-hole. And you'll be like Ilya Bryzgalov. I mean, some of that's on his defense, but we won't get into that. You'll get beat like him a lot. Through the 5-hole, make it look silly. What you really need to do, wide stance, wide. You got to face the shooter. Glove down a little bit, still on front. You don't want it back here, right in front, like we discussed before. feet a little wide. And that's pretty much the advanced. There's not much difference. You just got to be a little bit wider, more on your edges, more on the ball of your foot. That's pretty much it. You want to go a little bit wider, probably like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 feet. Probably about a good foot outside of your shoulders. Yeah. Make sure your stick's out. Make sure your glove's out. And you're going to be a little wider, and you're going to be a little lower. Because when you slam down into the butterfly, you want to be able to be there quicker. And that's what the name of the game is. It's a little cheat, but you got to do it. It's mostly when the puck's in closer or when it's about to get shot. You're going to spread it out a little bit. If you see a guy coming in, you're going to get low, right? Puck's coming in at you fast. You're going to get low. You're not going to stand up there, wait for him to shoot. You know, you're in your stance, you're ready. No, you're going to get in the active stance. That's what I like to call it, the active stance. You want to be active. You want to be ready. Shot's going to come. You're going to be down quick, save, whatever you have to do to stop the puck. So, that pretty much your advanced stance. And we're going to talk about real quick, just before I turn it off, and this, we're going to talk about seeing through traffic. There's a lot of different techniques you can do. You can do the, if you're a tall goalie, like 6 foot and taller, you're going to want to be able to look over maybe sometimes. You know, you can see it out at the point, but make sure you're still in your basic stance. Or, there's the looking around the legs. Now that's a little tough. It's good for the shorter goalies. It's good for when the puck's in close and really in between a lot of legs. You're going to go into that active stance and you're going to look around. You're going to keep your body the same way, but you're just going to move your head. You're going to move the head and the upper body. You're going to keep your gloves in the same spot and you're just going to follow the puck. And that's the key to following the puck when it's in traffic.